All right. So, what I want to do today is just really go over what the class is all about and how I break it down and what we'll be studying. And also, I sent you a little bitty plan of a small, very small demo project. And what I'm going to do is, well, my hope is to start small and then to give bigger ones. And I get them all the time. So if I happen to find one that's really good, which I have the first four or five that I think are really good that we're going to work on, I'll probably substitute
Okay.
those. And two, if you have your own, make sure you send them to me because we could work on those at the same time that we're working on the class ones. Okay, because I know you
Okay.
said you had some ones that you wanted to get out, and I was like, well, hey, just send them to me, whatever. But yeah, I mean, we could still work on mine and yours. And I'm almost certain
Oh,
because you already do this, I'm going to start slower than you're used to, but that's just the way that it goes. Okay. Mm,
oh yeah, I'm a good student, so I'm gonna follow your pace. So
okay.
go fast, go slow, however you want to do it.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, now if you do have some, make sure you send those to me today. Okay.
Okay.
And we can work on those. All right. So the way I break down the class, it's this class is eight different modules, and every week on Saturdays we'll work on these. So for the next 8 weeks, we'll work on the projects and this at the same time. So under each module, you'll have the study guide for it, so you can go ahead and print that on your own or have it ahead of time. And then some of the other things are things I want you to have that are part of each of the modules. So this week is the introduction to demo. I'm going to go over the study guide, but really today I'm just going to go over the whole class and what we're going to be studying, how we're going to do it. And hopefully these three things, and also look at the first small set of plans that we'll work on for this week. Now, the way that I do
Okay.
it is every week I give you a set of plans, and the goal is for us to work together one on one to make a full estimate. And first step is really uh, just sending me the takeoff as detailed as you normally do it. And it's good because you said you already use PlanSwift, so you're ahead of the game 100%. So you'll send me your takeoff. We compare takeoffs, and each of the projects that we're doing has an individual study page URL where it has different videos on the different aspects. So it will at least have one video on the detailed takeoff for that project, one for the man hours and pricing, and then the last one is formatting the final estimate. Okay, and so that's really how we do it. Okay, so I'll give you a project. Now, I know you're busy, and I've designed the class to where after our 8 weeks of doing this stuff and you taking the test and you submitting each test for each module to me, after that point, we can meet here if we need to, project by project, or you can just send me the information and we can meet on another day that we're both available. You see, because
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not, you may want to in 8 weeks sleep in till 10. Okay, fine. We can meet on Monday at whatever time. You know what I mean?
I
So,
do.
yeah. So, my biggest thing is to make sure you complete all of the 8 module tests. Okay. Even with or without me, if you want to do them ahead of time and you think you can, just do them because that's where I'm stuck right now is I have a lot of busy students that are not doing this part, which I think is very important, as well as us being able to do the projects together. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm not a
Okay.
tough teacher. You know, you pay good money to not do it if you don't want to, but I want you to do it. Okay, because it's gonna
I
help.
love it. I love it. I
All
love
right.
it. Okay.
So, how the now you have access to this page, and you also have a study page, okay, of your own, where I'm gonna input all of your project scores and test scores. So you visit that once a week. I may put notes in that for you too, or special videos for whatever. Okay, so visit your page as much as you want. You have the username and password, and everything is, I mean, I'm a like you, private, family owned business. None of that stuff is shared with anybody other than us and you. Okay. And I
That's
would
right.
say the same thing that none of our,
Okay.
you don't share. And if you want to share, just let me know who it is and we'll set them up separately because each of my students
Okay.
has a separate, each person has a separate requirement. And, you just have to If somebody else wants to learn, they can learn. Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. Somebody's
Check.
calling on a Saturday. All right. So they should know better. All right. So let's see. Okay. So how this page is set up, and that'll stop shortly, is the topic, and then the study guide is always here. And I'm just not as efficient as I should be putting up all the individual things. But the study guide is going to tell you what we're going to be talking about. And if there's something that information I want you to just hold on to without us just talking about it, I will make you a separate PDF for it, which OSHA is very important when it comes to demo. And so I have something for that for this one. And yes, the specifications, which are very important as far as understanding how to put together the estimate. And so, yeah, you have this information in the topic for that week. And then all under that is all the test questions. And so, I'm not pushing it on, but anytime after we finish that week, you should be able to submit the test questions to me and just email them to
Okay.
me. Now, if we happen to go like today, we probably won't do everything in the first week. Then you don't have to do it because unless we finish it together, you don't have to submit the test, and you'll know.
I see.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So that's how pretty much it works. And so every module is here on the main study page, and you'll
Okay.
have separate URLs for each of the projects that we're working on together. So this first
Okay.
little tenant improvement, you'll see the name of it. You'll have a link on the resource page because you have uh, 3 pages. Your personal page where I put all your information, the study page for the whole class, which is what we're looking at now, and then individual URL pages for each of the projects that we work on together. Okay, so all of the, as we work on the projects together, you'll have access to those on your personal page and on the resource page, or maybe just on the
Okay.
resource page, because that's a lot to be messing up and then inputting the wrong URL. No, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
So we'll,
Yeah.
we'll just probably just put all of them on the resource page. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions so far?
So far, nope. You're doing
Okay.
great.
Now, the best part, I think, is when you do the estimates now, it used to be, they don't know how to use Excel or don't have a current version, or how do I determine the man hours? And then they would have to go buy something that would give them the man hours like I have, And so we've eliminated this with you being able to use our estimator, and you'll see that. We'll talk about that later. But it says that you can access it from your student page. So there's a button on your student page where you can click on it and it opens up. Okay. So you don't have to worry about not having access to that. And we'll talk about that later. And I'll have a separate
Okay.
video on how to use it because, again, the left section is residential. So you click on the left section, it opens up to all your residential options. The right is commercial. You use that. And, but most of the stuff we'll be doing is commercial. So, I mean, but you can use it for whatever reason. And so, again,
And is that software basically for interior or is it also exterior? Can you put exterior
it's everything.
building demo?
Yeah.
Everything. Okay.
Yep, it's everything. If you want to demo the whole building, if you want to gut the building, it's everything there. So what I do want you to do is this weekend go through it and see what the categories are. And again, we'll talk about it a little later. And
Okay.
yeah, you'll have that. So today, what is the whole class about? So it's an 8 module course, and each of the modules, focus on something specific. So today, or the first module, is the intro to demo estimating, and we'll go over that. Module 2, we talk about reading the plans and understanding the scope. Okay, and again, I teach most most of my students are self-performers. I already know, but a lot of the details, the technical stuff, they don't know. And so just be patient with me if you do happen to know this stuff. And, but I think it's best. And two, you got to take a test on it. So you might as well,
Yeah.
you know? All
Yeah.
right. So that's module 2. And 3 is the takeoff. and how we quantify all the measurements. What do we do by linear foot? How do we do if we're demoing concrete? What's the steps? Just basic little stuff like that. And hold on for me just 1 second. Hold on for me 1 second. Uh-oh, I'm not quick at this. Oh, hold on. You got hold on. Every record. That's terrible. Okay, sorry about that. I have a pod that's getting picked up, and I'm like, oh, I better answer that. I thought they were coming this afternoon, but they're coming now, which is good. All right, are you there? Okay,
I
you there?
am. I'm
All right. So, module 3, the takeoff. 4, we'll be doing how we determine the labor and what components comprise of demolition labor, and then we'll talk a little bit about the equipment you use. 5, um, disposal and recycle and salvage and how you do that. And I'm interested to hear how you do it now, or if you incorporate any part of that as a discount on
okay.
your estimates. Did you even know that was a thing? So that's interesting. I like that one. And 7 is, or was that was 5. 6 is determining overhead and profit and contingency costs and what components are part of that. And that's 6. 7 is we're going to finally create the estimate and what goes on it, what component parts go on it, you know, itemizing the labor and the equipment and the material, okay, and how best to format it. And 2, for you, it's going to be easy for you, and you probably get hooked on it because I don't really know. And again, we'll talk about what measure or how do you determine how long these things are going to take you. And that's what
Okay.
I always want to hear from everybody because that just helps me make things better. And so, what was that? 7, the final estimate, and we'll go over 8, which is bidding and the steps, to help you win, what you need to think about when you bid and the GC kind of things. How do you handle change orders and understanding the packages that they give you and the requirements that they're asking for, and just going over that in
Okay.
general. Okay. And so
Okay.
that's all 8. So tell me a little bit about what you do as far as demo. What are your, is it big stuff, you knocking down buildings, or is it interior selective demolition? Tell me a little bit about what you do and what you're looking for in the class or to get out of the class.
So we do exterior demolition mostly, but we are also and we also occasionally will do interior demolition. Um, and when we do interior demolition, it's mostly from private companies. So we haven't really messed around with the corporate B2B stuff. We're just, people say, can you tear down our kitchen, or can you tear out
Mm-hmm.
our basement and that type of stuff. And then occasionally we'll get some McDonald's will say, can you rip the interior walls down? So that type of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
90% of what we do is we tear down buildings, specifically houses, 3 stories and down. So houses, commercial spaces. We don't do big things like the mall or a football
Mm-hmm.
stadium. Um,
Mm.
we
Yeah.
purposely are trying to we're purposely trying to stay in a market where the big giants are going to be
Right.
called on to tear down the mall. So we're
Mm-hmm.
in a
Right.
space, the smaller jobs, which are not really small, but the smaller jobs, they don't really care about tearing
Right.
down houses or
Yeah. Yeah.
McDonald's, those little smaller buildings. So that's our space purposely.
Good.
But we would like to expand and change our numbers because we don't want to just rely on just buildings. We'd like to we
Yeah.
get a considerable amount of leads for the interior demolition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
And, so what I'm looking for from this course is to learn how to, look at the drawings, the blueprints from
Hmm.
afar, and be able to
Hmm.
put together a number that kind of matches. I'm looking to compare how well the takeoff numbers would be versus just my eyes looking at it. So
Oh yeah.
if I go and look at the building, then I'll know, oh, we're gonna need this equipment. That particular wall is gonna take 4 hours versus I like to
Hmm.
do some comparison on what my eyes know and how reliable the takeoff software is. Because if it's very close, then I feel more comfortable just spitting out bids based on conversations over the phone, or it's especially just the blueprints alone.
Right, right. Okay, so you got to think of it this way. I want to make sure I can jump on that one before you say if if the software is close then to what your eyes have been saying, then you know it's whatever. But you got to think, what are your eyes basing anything on?
Experience. It's based
Well,
on
I mean,
experience.
that's true too. That's true. But you got to think like, and you say, okay, now I'm trying to go in this new space. Well, this is the perfect time to no longer just rely on your eyes. Okay?
Yeah.
Because because I put it to you this way. If you're winning everything you bid, you're too low. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not winning anything, you're too high. So there's somewhere in between you need to be. And yeah, when you want to be competitive like that, the only way to do it is to have a structured way to determine, yeah, this wall is 10 feet. It's a, you know, 2 by 6 construction, wood construction. It's going to take me this long as opposed to it being steel construction, which is going to take you longer. And so
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to rely on your eyes for that. And the good thing about this whole game and industry in construction is that they have standards that say how long it should take you in terms of the man hour unit I'm always praising and talking about. Because,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I'm an estimator, and an estimator's job is really to be very detailed and to break things down and to be able to visually break it down like you do. But then input that information somewhere that's going to give you some actual real life numbers that you can work on that's based on something real. And so when I do my estimating, the only factors that determine whether you're going to win or you're going to lose are how long you say something's going to take, because then you base it on how long your labor is going to
Yeah.
cost, how much your labor is going to
Yeah.
cost. So if you don't know
Yes.
really based on construction industry standards, how long a job is going to take, you really don't know how to be
Right.
competitive, because trust me, there are a lot of people using people from other countries that know exactly how long a job is going to take. And if they're charging the same amount as you and you're 10, 20, 30, 40 man hours over, you're never going to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we want to eliminate is the
Okay.
crapshoot of, are we going to win? Are we not going to win? Hey, I'm going by construction industry standards, period. I don't know what you're going by. That's why when contractors, my clients say, oh, they said I was too high. I'm like, well, based on what?
Mm.
You know what I mean? They're always going to say you're too high because they want to lowball the hell out of you. But I say,
Mm.
I educate my clients. You don't want to take, and that gets me so mad because I had a excavator client that paid good money and estimating money to me, but he just would not listen. I'm like, you can't
Mm.
go in there with no name and try to bid $500,000 projects. They're not going to
Mm.
trust you. When the guy
Mm.
that they just used 3 years ago did it and finished it, you know what I'm saying? But he just didn't want to listen. My
Mm.
uncle, my uncle's been doing my uncle. His uncle's probably not even legally in this country. You know what I'm saying? Probably already been deported. You know what I mean? But construction industry standards and OSHA law and getting a license, you can't deport that. That's not your uncle. And it made me so mad. It's like, how are you
Mm.
listening to all of these men and you and an intelligent woman that's been doing this for 16 years, you can't fathom listening to? And yeah, He ended up going back to work. I'm like, well, yeah. When I
Mm,
decided to not go back to work and use my brain,
mm,
that was 16 years ago,
mm.
and I've never gone back to work for anybody.
I love it. I love
Okay,
it.
so if
I
you
love
can't listen to me, bro, you can't listen to nobody. No,
it. So
and
I'm
we
glad we're
both
having this conversation. I'm glad we're
right.
having this conversation because I think I'm lacking faith that this software can do what my eyes could do. So
Yeah,
you're going to
right.
help me gain
Everybody
that
does.
faith. Yeah.
Because you guys are bros, okay? You don't believe. First of all, I'm a woman, okay? So unless I'm getting ready to raise your kids, I don't think you really gonna listen to much I got to say.
No, no, I'm not like that. I'm not like
But
that.
but,
I'm
but
not.
I'm not talking
I'm a
about
real good
you,
student.
okay? I'm talking about the
Yeah.
people that just want to listen to me on YouTube but don't want to pay me no money because
Oh, I
you know what I mean? You pay good
yeah.
money, and that's why you're gonna
Yeah.
get good results.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I
right.
don't play with
Yeah.
people. Okay,
Yeah.
just
If
like
you
we
tell
talked
me to
about,
walk, if you tell me to walk left and skip on that third step, I'm gonna do it
man,
until
because
I see that don't work. But I'm gonna do
right,
it because that's why I'm here. I'm here to have someone
right,
show me the way. So you
exactly,
show me the way, I'm gonna
right.
follow your steps.
And I could give you the emails of my clients that paid me just like you. And 2 weeks later, because they were just like you, did it themselves, they're like, Stacy, I used your way and I just won. And thank you very much. And I won't be back to class. Okay.
Yeah,
Because you just made that money back in probably one project. You
yeah,
know,
that's right. Yeah.
so that's why I'm here and that's why I do it, and I was like, I don't even show my face. Okay. Because I'm not
So
here
me too.
to show me. I'm here to show skills to help you prosper, just like
Yeah.
it's been doing me. You know what I mean? All these
Yeah.
people, oh, they want to show their face, and I don't want to get all makeup. I don't. I've never worn makeup. It worked because I got three
You
kids.
don't need to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't. Uh-huh.
So what I'm doing now at 60 years old is to help people like you that want to be helped.
I
And
love it.
and there's a way to do it. And I'm a nerd. Okay, that's the best part. I have a degree in
Hmm.
electrical engineering. I love math. Thank you, Mom. And we're just gonna make you better. That's all. You know?
Okay. Okay. Let's do
All
it.
right. And so this is how we're gonna start. So what are we talking about today? So, like you said, wait a minute. I'm more impressed than a little bit because you say you just knocked down the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't. Most of my folks go in there with a hammer and a sledgehammer and knock down some walls. You knock
Oh
down
no,
the whole
we have big
building.
excavators and dump
Yeah,
trucks, and we
see,
yeah.
yeah.
So for us, when we say the guys get a little bent out of shape when we have to go in and manually knock stuff down because we're used to running our
Right,
steers
bro.
and two excavators, and
Right.
it's a little more
Pros
cush
just
because
want to
you're
go
not.
in there.
Yeah.
Right. It's
So
like
when I say
ballet.
if we're gonna go in and when I say if we're gonna go in and do it, they're like, oh man, how
Oh,
many days?
what? Yeah, right, right. It's like, hey, we get this knocked down with this headache ball in like one night or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, but you're very right because that's great. Okay, first of all, because if you do that and that's on your resume and like you said all the stars you got on Google, people are going to hire you like that because you can do that, you can easily do this other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? So you be thinking about it that way. Okay?
Okay.
And you get all of those invitations to bid for interior demolition. And
Yeah.
the
We
bigger the
do.
better, right? Because you've knocked down buildings. And make sure, if you have a website, make sure all of that is on there because this little stuff these GCs asking you to do, pull up the flooring and knock down, like the one we're getting ready
Mhm.
to do. You would knock that out, you and your guys, in like, we're finished 4 hours or something, as opposed to like the 35 hours construction industry said it should take you. And you have to think about that too. When I give
Yeah.
you that information, when you use the E-Deck for what's in there is the construction industry standard in terms of man hours. So it's what construction says, how long it should take you to do a thing. Okay. And so that's how our country got way out of hand because migrants came over here and said, well, you know what? I know you lazy Americans say it should take that long, but we could do it in a third of the time. Okay.
Mm.
So you can do the same thing.
Mm.
Okay, construction industry standard, what I'm teaching, what I give you is it's not the Bible. Everybody wants, Stacy, this isn't there. Okay, well, it's not the Bible. It's a baseline. Okay, your ductwork is not exactly that way, but there's a reducer with a branch that looks just like it. Okay, calm down, that you can use for your labor calculation, right? Because you can get something that gives you material and labor. We don't care about the material because with the stupid stuff that's going on in our country now, it could be $2 today and $15 tomorrow. So you
Right.
have to make sure you have a good material supplier that you're on it on a weekly basis. If that
Mm.
applied to you, you know, if that
Okay.
applied to you,
Okay.
if you rent your equipment or something, be on that and just say, renting days is over. We're gonna use Stacy's person so we could buy this equipment because it's far cheaper,
Gotcha.
you know,
Okay.
nowadays,
Okay.
stuff like that. All right. So what are we talking about today? Other than that, any questions you have on what I've said so far? I
Nope, you're
started
doing great.
preaching and then I went on. I took you to church and then we're back to school.
But that's
So,
okay.
okay.
I'm a sponge, so
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
absorbing.
thank you very much. Okay. So, what is demolition? That's what today is all about. And really, there are different types. Okay. So, what you do, okay, is a total demolition. Okay. Which is the complete tear down of a structure. Okay. Do you also include remove the foundation?
Yep. So we tear out the
Okay.
foundation and put the dirt back in and
Oh,
seed the
yeah.
lawn and make it look like a brand new space.
Oh, see, no, see, that's what you do. You do total demolition, which, like I said, you get all of those invitations to bid, and you bid on absolutely all of them now, because they'll give you that. That'll be like candy, and then do your total demolition because in terms of demolition and GCs and quickness and expertise, anybody thinks they know how to demo. What do you have to do? Just go knock something down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
but no, okay? Because when you do an interior demo, which is basically cutting or portions of the building out or gutting the inside without
Mm-hmm.
affecting any of the structural components, which is really the
Mm-hmm.
load bearing walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you'll be thinking. Okay, when you go assess a project, you guys are used to knocking down load bearing walls. Okay, so your thing now may be, okay, we need to look at the set of plans and understand from the structural set, from the foundation, which of these walls are built on a portion of the foundation. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it's built on a portion of the foundation, it is a structural component. And if you knock that down, you're probably going to knock down a whole lot of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's
Will
the
be
first
good.
thing when what your difference will be is like, okay, now we got to look at the structural set and don't ever trust anything on the plans because nowadays, I can tell you a good set of plans from a lousy set of plans. Okay. And demo, they spend the least amount of time on because they're like, tear down, knock down the wall. Well, is there anything connected to the wall? Do we have electrical on the wall? You know, is there, what's going, is there pipe going through a chase? They don't give you all of that. So you got to be mindful of all of that as well. And so, yeah, when we look at a demo set, yeah, knock down the wall. There's outlets on the wall, but they're not going to tell you
Mm-hmm.
that. So you have to incorporate all of that. And where if they're not there showing you, then how do you assume? Because what do they want? They want a price for you to demo the place where they're not even telling you everything that's in the building. So that'll be the big difference is okay, common sense on it. They want me to knock down this wall. There's got to be a portion of electrical in it. You got to make sure it's not a load bearing wall because, their architect just tell you to knock down a wall, assuming it's a load bearing wall and you got to brace it at some point, in between the points that you're knocking it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so those are the new concepts that you guys will have to think about when it comes to that type of uh, demolition interior. Okay, so let's go over the types. So one, selective demolition. And that's removing specific sections while preserving the structure. Okay, so selective and interior, that's something you guys have to have a little different mindset about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now interior is gutting the building without affecting the exterior. So they say the exterior, that are we talking about the perimeter load bearing walls? Probably so. So there may be cases where you are demoing load bearing walls within a portion of the building. And what do you do in that case? Do you already know what to do? Do we need to learn what to do? You know, that kind of stuff. Because, yeah,
Yeah.
and it may say in the set of plans, contractor is to ensure that basically you don't knock the whole building down, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's some words, but what does it really mean? Okay. And so selective demolition. So we got one, two, three, four, five different types. One, selective demolition, removing specific
Okay.
sections while preserving
Mm-hmm.
the structure. And
Okay.
so if you're doing that, yeah, you may or may not be demoing load bearing walls inside, but that's just a generic term for selective demolition. Interior demolition is gutting the inside of the building without affecting the exterior. So yeah,
Okay.
you just leaving the building shell, probably demo it, taking out all the drywall too, and just leaving the exterior framing exposed. You know, that's
Okay.
that kind of thing. And really, when you're gutting the whole building, there's like a square foot price you can apply to that and not even worry about breaking it down individually. Just like when you knock down the whole building, the first level is so much a square foot, the second
Mm-hmm.
level is so much a square foot, and all in a, up and up. And so if you're charging right now to knock down these buildings and you're just giving them one, okay, it's $7 a square foot, are you cheating yourself? Maybe, especially if it's multiple
Mm-hmm.
stories.
Mm.
So, and do you know how to equate cubic yards of product into square feet? Because
Yes.
you do.
Yeah, we go from square feet to cubic
How do you do that?
because
I
because
probably.
we are, yeah, we just do length, width, height to get our square. And
Hmm.
then, of course, in that cube, so once we get that cube number, then I understand that the whole cube is not full. So I'll just do a factor of maybe 33%, or sometimes I could tell the house is full of stuff. So I'll raise the
You
factor
use your
to
brain a lot. That's good.
yeah, because when we get these houses, it's a cube, and sometimes they're completely dilapidated and have been ransacked, so there's nothing in there. But sometimes it's a fire damage house, which means it's
Hmm.
full of stuff. And never the cube is 100% full, but sometimes it's 50% full. So on most houses, they're 33% full because there's stuff in there, and we'll use that factor. So we'll do width, length, height times 33%, and then we'll divide that by 27, and that'll give me my cubic. And then I know our dump trucks are 40 yards, so whatever that cubic number is, I'm dividing that by 40, so I'll know that's going to be 40 trucks, or how many of our trucks is going to be based on a 40 cubic
You
truck.
now look, you just messed my brain up. I was gonna give you one simple little thing, and we're gonna see if it equates. Normally, 1 cubic yard is 75 square feet. So
Okay,
we'll
that's good
try
to
that
know.
on your next stuff. Try that on something you did, you know,
Yeah,
and
75,
that's the
175.
yeah, 1 cubic yard is 75 square feet. So like when you're demoing stuff, you know, we know how many square feet, right? And so we figure it
Perfect.
out that way.
Good to know. Yeah, that's good to know because in interior, you're not dealing with the cube. You're dealing with
Yeah, yeah.
piece.
Now you done
Yeah,
messed up my
that's good
brain.
to know.
Let me make sure. Yeah, 75. But yeah, it's in our documents. Yeah, but yeah, 1 cubic yard, 75 square feet. So if you've got, 3,000, 35,000 square feet, divide by 75, you know how many cubic yards in a nutshell,
I love it.
you know?
Okay.
So, but yeah, your way, you're good, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna take want to call it black demo. You're gonna take black demo to a whole new level. Let me tell you, because you're already very mindful of everything and just your whole everything, you know? So I look forward to, I may not help you. You're gonna help me probably more than I help you.
No, no, we're gonna
But
help.
thank you
You're gonna
very
help me because
much.
everybody has something that you can gain
That's
from.
right.
There's some knowledge.
I call it black.
No one has all the information.
Oh man, I love my people because you know if there's nothing else, once we hone in on what we're gonna do, we are always the best. I love it. You know, ain't no
I
half
love it.
stepping. You know, you don't sound like even our conversation before now. You are not half stepping. You could tell I'm not. And the best of the
No, you're
best do
definitely not.
not half step. Okay,
You can't. You
can't.
can't.
Mm-mm. All
Mhm.
right. All right. So total demo, you know all about. So now look, if you have one really good, which I'm sure you probably got more than one, or maybe even two, you know, they need to be taking this class with you because, like you said, you Mr. Everything. Well, then how are you going to be Mr. Everything and teach this? Somebody, you got to trust at least one other person. And trust me, I will give you the sister discount as if you, which you are my brother, but somebody else other than you, Mr. Owner, needs to be getting on your project, the person you leave in charge when you want to go on vacation, that person.
I tell you what, this is what I really was thinking is let me check her out before I commit down this path. So I
Listen
really,
at you.
I'm impressed with you, but I really wanted to see what your value was, and then I would just feed you
You're so
some
smart.
more
I'm telling
business.
you. You
So really,
taking
I'm
black demo
really
to a
I'm,
whole new
one
level.
second. Yes, I figured let me just check her out to see how things go, and then if everything goes as I believe it will, which is it's already going great, then I would just feed you other people, and then I wouldn't have to worry about doing it myself because, you know, so
But you need
so
to
I think
know.
yeah, I
Okay.
need to know. I wanted
Yeah.
to kind of evaluate you to see, how well you would present and all that stuff. So you're meeting my expectations
Well, thank
already.
you very much,
I
sir.
really wanted to just see first before I committed to 4 or
Hey,
5
but look,
people.
look, let's do your class on like today, but your
Uh-huh.
worker, whoever, separate from you.
Yes, that's right.
You know, because there may be, you know, stuff I'm talking about
Yeah,
them. I don't want them to hear. You know what
right.
I'm saying? There's a lot of
So,
employee related stuff that, you know, that I talk about too.
mhm.
It's like I don't want your GC in class with me because I'm gonna lay it on about him too, or her, you know, and how to deal
Mhm.
with them. So yeah, think about that, and I appreciate that a lot. That just lets me know you're on top of your game. You know what I mean? You're not running
Yep.
your business by emotions. You know,
Yep.
and trust me, I'm a female. There's so many of you guys out there running your business on emotion, and you get mad at
Yeah.
me. I'm like, well, shut your mouth, okay? Why didn't you tell me it was it? What? Huh? Did you ask your boss why they didn't tell you something you messed up on? Running the business on emotion with me is not gonna work. I got two sons of my own. Okay, that know better. All right. So okay. So let's finish this part. All right. We still haven't finished all the different demolitions. So you guys are total now. Deconstruction is important too. Okay, because that is the, you know, you're getting it and you're kind of taking it apart for salvage, really, for recycling and to reuse it. Okay. And so that's a really important part because if you're deconstructing it to for salvage and to reuse it, just like the one we have now, for some reason, they want to reuse the carpet tiles. I'm like, really?
Mhm. Yeah.
Getting those
Yeah.
up to reuse
That
them?
job I'm telling you I'm bidding on, they want to use the recarpet tiles and they want us to stack them in the corner.
Oh, same,
Hey,
really?
listen to this.
Same
Listen to this. Listen to this. They want to use the good ones. So they want us to determine
thing?
the
Which
good
one
ones
are
and
the good? Well,
the
thank you. Okay, well, that's going to charge you that. I mean, you got to, that's more on the labor. That's just not
yeah.
standard labor because now you want me to be a design artist and an architect
Mhm.
on top of a
Mhm.
demo person. I'm supposed to just come in there like your guys say, just tear it out, throw it in the trash. You know,
Mhm.
you're asking me to choose, but see, that's good for
Mhm.
you because now
Yeah.
you have to come up with a protocol so you can show them how many hours it took you to choose for them. Why don't you just go choose for yourself? You know what I mean?
Right.
Why don't you just go
Right.
choose for yourself? Put a big black X so we'll know those aren't the ones you want. Because how do I know what my standard might be different from yours?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All of that, it needs to be thought about. When somebody else is asking you to be their mother, you ask me to be your mother. Well, that's expensive. That costs more than the average 42 or whatever you guys charge per man hour, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, they want you to do extra stuff because they know you're so kind and you just
Mm-hmm.
love doing stuff for free a couple of 100 years ago, right? But no, it costs money. So keep that in mind, okay? That stuff irks me because, yeah, and then they'll be sending you here to do that and over there to do that. Oh, can we keep half that wall up? What?
Yeah, we give them multiple choices. So when that proposal comes out, if we do this, so they're
Oh, there,
gonna usually they'll say, well, we don't want, geez, it's gonna cost us an extra
uh-huh. There you go.
number. They're gonna say, okay, well, we'll mark them. So the last I've heard is they're going to
There
mark
you
them because that's going to
there you
cost you. Yeah, I even told them they wanted us to unscrew all the metal studs versus cutting them. I said we gotta unscrew all it. Like you're looking at probably extra 2, 3 days. That's gonna cost you. Oh no, no. So now they don't want to keep the studs. They said go ahead and cut them down.
see? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, you
but that's what by my experience. Because if I didn't have experience
uh-huh.
and I was looking at the thing,
Okay.
I don't know if the thing would catch those kind of things. You kind of have
Yeah,
to know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, that's all that is experience, right? That's like when I
Yeah.
first started estimating, I was only putting drywall on one side of the interior wall.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
All right. That took me one time and a refund, and that was it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you live and you learn, and that's why you can never neglect somebody's experience, you know? But when that experience is based on emotion, then no. Okay. Just like you said, that's based on experience. Oh, no, that's going to be an extra 2 or 3 days. And no,
Hmm.
can't do it. And a different contractor in like Missouri would say, "Yeah, we'll do it," and they'll do it for free, and get mad at me because I said that shouldn't be for free.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's why I love working with people all over everywhere because the response you're gonna get, it depends on where the person is. It's like, no,
Mm.
this is construction industry standards that works for everybody, not just people in California, New York, and Pennsylvania. Okay, so yeah, I love it. All right, so deconstruction, you got to think about that because now you guys got to take a gentler approach. And like you said, you already
Hmm.
know they want us to pull up carpet tile the same way. That's amazing. It's the same project. I was like, wait, they want to salvage the carpet tile? Oh, that's
Hmm.
extra. Okay. And implosion demolition. That's our last one. Have you done that before?
No, no, we don't mess with any dynamite or
And usually
no.
that's for
You gotta
large
have to have a special license and
license. There
insurance
you go.
crazy high for that.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. So,
Yeah.
that like you said, those are the ones for the guys that don't do this little McDonald's stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, that's a serious thing. So
They'll
I
see those big guys, they'll see a little office building and they don't even care about it. A
and laugh.
2-story, 3-story office building, they don't care because they want big downtown New York buildings, which
Right.
when you get one of those, that'll your profit will be good for 4 or 5 years on that type of stuff.
All right. So that's pretty much all the different types. You know, Now, understanding the scope, are you familiar or do you regularly go to the specifications?
For each project, yes. So the specifications is primarily where we go to read,
Okay, good,
what they want, and then we'll go look at the blueprints and see it.
good, good, good. Okay, so now understanding the project scope definitely begins with the specifications. So on here, I have, let's go up, specifications for demo contractors. All right, so this is supposed to be 45 minutes, but it's not. Okay, so why specifications matter? All right, and basically it just outlines, right, all of the methods, and that's what the specs are for no matter what the trade. It outlines the material, the methods, and for demo, the safety requirements for the project. Okay, and they really clarify what needs to be removed. And so it sounds like you've done interior selective demolition before, but now that you're gonna, I've do I have I think I have this Valley College one that we're gonna Diablo Valley College. They are completely knocking down a building and then adding on to it. So when it comes to interior demolition, the specifications are really going to outline everything. And with that, as you need to know what they want you to demo and get rid of, or they want you to demo in a salvage condition, and then protection too. Okay. And so all of that is encompassed in the specifications. And, failure to follow them can be very costly, as you know, and really safety violations when it comes to the protection part and depending on what you're demoing. Okay. So specific to the actual specifications, that's Division 02. Okay, so existing conditions, okay, that is the most important specification for demo. And I don't think I have the actual master format, but I will upload that to the resource page. And of course, the master format is the master list of the specification standards. So no matter where the project is in North America, every set of plans are supposed to follow that specifications, but chances are they don't. Okay, and meaning that the actual specifications are a three-part, two-digit number. A lot of times when you look at specs, they'll leave off the first part or the second part, or they'll leave off. A lot of times I see a two-part, two-digit number, but the actual
Okay.
specifications are a three-part, two-digit number where demo is found in Division 02, and they start with 00. Okay, and but 02 is the main one. Existing conditions, what's there, okay, and it also mentions if there are hazardous materials and how you should address those. Now, anytime you're demoing a roof components of an older building, chances are you're going to have hazardous material. And so, you may find now that demoing or reviewing specifications for all of your new commercial stuff is going to require a whole lot more attention. And, you may want to have somebody on that. And the way I recommend reviewing specifications are just reading them in full and taking notes, because a lot of times on the construction documents, the it, it's not there. What you need to do is just the documents are the construction documents. I like to think of the specs and the construction drawings in two ways. The specifications are the words, and the construction drawings are the pictures. And so the pictures are only there to help you make measurements. And from those measurements, you are able to determine quantities and how much stuff is going to cost. That's why they call it the permit set or whatever. It's really only there to give you the pictures to make the measurements to determine how much stuff is going to cost. The specifications are the written words that go with that. And it's all the information from all of the architects and all of the engineers on the means, methods, and the material to do this project. And so for specific to demo, it's your 02. And make sure if there is a hazardous material section, read it in detail and see what they tell you to do. Okay. And site conditions and utility disconnection. So if you're doing a lot of underground stuff like knocking down the buildings, well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
should be reading through that and seeing the proper way that they expect you to do whatever. Because, yeah, I mean, the gas companies blow up whole neighborhoods here in California. And,
Oh my.
just because people not paying attention, and the
Mm.
specifications, that is as in, I would say the specifications are as important as the measurements because you can measure all day long, but if you're doing the job incorrectly, you're messing up. Okay, so just remember, Division 02. Okay, what to review in the specifications and what else, the general requirements as well. But the main division that tells you as far as your demo job, that's Division 01. Now we're going to go back to the general requirements and what to review. So, temporary facilities and controls. So, site fencing, all of those
Mm-hmm.
things. And really, the erosion plan, I don't know why they call it that, but that's where all of the temporary construction items are at. That's the plan that may involve some of your demo operations too. They may have it to which they are supposed to. They'll have it set up to where they'll show you where they want all of the additional spoils placed. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
a good idea to, especially if you're doing site demo, you should really be reviewing the erosion plan, and we'll review that too. And
Okay.
why? And well, it's the erosion plan, maybe in the South, but here in California, they've renamed it to the best practices plan. So if you see
Mm-hmm.
any plan that says best practices, that's usually the erosion plan where they're telling you how to
Okay.
close out the construction site and so all the waste doesn't get out of there. So, all
Gotcha.
right,
Okay.
another division to review, the structural. Okay, if you are demoing structural components, okay, so yeah, it'll talk about the concrete.
So the concrete is always 03?
Mm-hmm. That's the
Okay.
concrete division period, whether it's demo, new, preservation, whatever. Okay, so you in the specifications, you're going to have your scope of work in the existing conditions portion because you're demo. But if concrete has to be demoed, or if framing has to be demoed, or if flooring has to be demoed, you see, if plumbing has to be demoed, HVAC, which it will, each of those divisions have a demolition section. Okay.
Okay.
And so you'll have to go deeper into, so if you go into, for instance, where do you, for your carpet tile demo, do you know what division to go to?
Not up. No, I don't.
Okay, so just know any finish, okay, whether it's flooring, tile, drywall is a finish.
Okay.
Go to
Flooring
Division
tiles.
9, okay? All your finishes are in Division 9. So when I upload the master format to our study resource page, click on it and you'll see where so if you're going to do, I mean, knocking down the whole building, what do you need other than how do I disconnect the gas so I don't blow up the neighborhood and all the
No.
utilities? Basically, you got to disconnect those completely, cap them, whatever. But other than that, really, what do you need to do but knock down the building? When it is when we're keeping the building up and its interior, we've got to demo everything from concrete to electrical. Well, you have to go to not only your existing conditions division, but you also have to go to each of the divisions for each of those trades that you're demoing. Because each of those, just like concrete, has a demolition portion. So it's going to give you all the details about the concrete demo. Okay. Even
Mhm.
the existing conditions will probably say refer to Division 03 for concrete demolition specification. You see? So
Mm,
you just got to know where to go. Metal,
okay.
metals division, that's 5. Okay, so are we demoing, so if your concrete has reinforcement, okay, you see how it is like pulling teeth,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
but it's good. So metal framing, if I have wood framing, right? If you're demoing, the interior has metal framing, the exterior has wood framing. Well, look, you got to go to Division 5 for your metals. You got to go to Division 6 for your wood. Okay, now if you're doing the MEPs, okay, mechanical, electrical, plumbing,
Hmm.
plumbing's Division 22,
Wow.
HVAC's Division 23, and electrical's Division 26. And so, a lot of GCs, they want you to demo the MEPs too, but you got to know what you're doing when it comes to that. So yeah, you've got to review everything in the specifications that's related to everything that you are demoing. If you're demoing the roof, what division are roofs? I'm going to tell you now, it's 7. Okay, so
Mm.
that's going to tell you everything about demoing thermal. Well, 7 is thermal and moisture protection, and that's basically your roofing. And 2, your roofing is a finish. So if you've got to demo the it's crazy. If you've got to demo
Mm.
the insulation, okay, that's not a finish. That's part of your thermal and
Mm.
moisture protection. And roofing is too. So if you're demoing the roofing, you got to review 07 thermal moisture, and where else did I go? And the finishes, because roofing,
And
not
let
roof
me
framing,
pause you.
roofing is a
Hold on
finish.
one second.
Okay.
How would you, when you're looking at these specs, how would you know? Are you just assuming if there's a roof, I'm gonna make a small number, the roof is 10 by 20. You're just
Uh-huh.
assuming there's gonna be a thermal something there that you could take off, or how do you,
Oh, very good question. What's going to tell you about the job? What tells
the
you about your scope
specification,
of work?
the specifications?
There you go. It's going to tell you if you are, and look, your plans are going to give you a generic thing on your demo. And I got one, so we're going to work on it. On your plans,
Okay.
the pictures, it's going to say demo, roofing, and insulation.
Oh, and insulate. Okay.
It's going to tell you. But then, okay,
Okay.
now I got to go to the finishes for the roofing to see if there's something special, because it may be telling me that I have asbestos roofing.
Okay.
Okay. Or what procedure to take prior to just ripping it all off. They may ask you to have a submittal, right? You've heard of submittals where they pull off a little chunk of that roof, cut it off, and send it to the architect.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is in the specifications. It will not be on the plans. And so part of bidding commercial is understanding if you know how to read and understand
Mm-hmm.
English. Because, yeah, some of that stuff you got to do. It's not just about tearing open the plans and making measurements, right? When you actually have to do the job, part of your cost and everything is based on, well, what do the specifications tell me about my concrete demo scope of work? Oh, okay. Well, existing conditions is going to give me general stuff. But then, yeah, if I'm demoing concrete, each of the trades basically has its own demo section in the specifications. Now, it may or may not be up to the people that produce the plans and specs to give you all of the details, division by division. They may give it all to you in existing conditions, okay, but maybe not. And you don't want to bank on it, but just in your mind, you know, I have to review all the specifications for every item that I am demoing. So if it's telling me to demo the walls, which is all this one I'm doing now, and usually commercial, okay, is light metal framing. It's rare that I see interior framing wood. Maybe rare. I don't know. Depends on the state. but you probably know that interior framing is probably metal. Okay. Even if they
Mm-hmm.
don't give it to you on the demo plan. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're going to go to the metals. You're going to see demo. It's going to be there because demo is part of the project. So the specifications whole job is to give you the written words so you'll fully understand what the pictures are telling you. Okay, that's just
Okay.
that simple. So whether it's
Okay.
demo or framing or electrical, the specifications are the words that just make the pictures make sense. And that's
Okay.
why they tell you, make sure you review the addendums because if I send you an addendum, then that's going to change everything I sent you before. Maybe for your scope
Mm,
of work, it may or may not. But I send you an addendum always, even if you review it or not, because I got an addendum on the one we're doing for. I'm like, I'm not going to review it because. But then they say, yeah, we added doors, right? So if I'm the framer, I need to reflect on my estimate that I did review the addendums and always say this estimate is based on plans and specifications dated the last date, whatever the last addendum they sent you, dated that because that's telling them that you reviewed the addendum. Whether it's related to your scope of work or not, that's not the point because they don't even know if it's related to your scope of work. Okay. They just like, you need to show me on your bid that you reviewed it, whether it was related or not. Okay.
mm,
So keep that in mind too. Or else they'll probably just throw it in the trash. And you paid me all this money to teach you, and you didn't change the date to the addendum, and you never got a call back. Well, because you didn't put the addendum date on it. You put the first
mm,
set of plans, and that's not how it works. Or and two,
mm.
if you get a set of plans that don't have a permit date where the plans were approved for construction, call them and say, "Are you
Okay.
just looking for a budget?" Because it doesn't appear your plans are approved for construction, which means you're not doing this no time soon. So I'm not wasting my
Mm.
time on you unless you're just looking for a budget and
Oh.
I'll just throw something up there, you know?
Okay.
So keep that in mind too. It's all a game, okay? You just got to
Yeah.
know how
For
to
sure.
play it. That's all. So that's what the
Yeah.
specifications are for. So, safety. Now we're going to end it here and we're going to pick it up next time, but always
Okay.
review Division 2 first. Okay? Check for the takeaways. Always review 02. So if you got a set now, and look, I even put my own thing. E-Deck Estimator is going to make your life so simple. Watch, it's easy. You're so intelligent. You're not going to have a
But,
problem using
but
it.
with E-Deck, I still need to know my numbers that I'm getting from Plan Swift, right? I'm just
Right.
entering.
You got to have your takeoff. I haven't created my takeoff tool yet, but it'll be done by the end of the summer. And then you'll have
Okay.
that too. But yeah, you got to yeah, you're set, okay? You just print out that estimating sheet, go to E-Deck and remember, if you're knocking down walls, it's a wall assembly, right? If you're Unless they're asking you just to take off the drywall, then you're going to look for demo drywall from so you got to keep it's very specific, and if it's commercial, make sure you use the commercial side because that gives you much more options as to items. It does a pretty good job. And the main thing, your man hours. So if you have a project you already bid and that you won, maybe one get one you won and you lost, that you have the takeoff numbers and use that for that and let me know what happens. Let me know what it
Okay.
there's a just tell me what happens. That's what all I
And
want.
we are like 2 weeks new to Plan Swift, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
that's
even
okay.
sure. Yeah, I'm not
That's all
even
right.
sure if I'm getting the most out of that yet. So I still got some playing to do
Okay,
with
so
that.
look, like I say, you know, Plan Swift is a ruler. It's a glorified ruler, okay? An accounting tool. That's all it does. And for you, I mean, you'll use three things. The counting tool, how many lights I got to demo? Click, 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 click. Or how many linear feet of wall do I have to demo? So use the segment tool. Click the first end, click again. That's the second end. Then they have another one where you can continuously click where it doesn't end. You got to tell it. Don't use that one. I've never found that useful for
Okay.
I forget what it's called. Let me see. I got my plan Swift open.
I think
I've
it's
never
called
used that one because it's a pain. Let's see. That's called. Let me open it.
Linear or segment? You like
Yeah.
segment better than linear?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Linear, see, it shows you. Linear connects everything. You don't want it connected unless you're doing the perimeter or something, you know?
Right. Okay.
Segment of a line. That's what we're looking for. Like, here's our first project. Well, we don't want to keep going. Like, oh, did I think I set the scale. No, I didn't. All right. So let me show you the difference. So segment is what you want. Okay. I'm going to put demo wall. And we know it's a wall assembly. So when you use E-Deck, choose that one. And you're always going to go through the door because you got the above the door part. So this is what the segment tool. Click once, click twice, done. Okay. Let me show you what linear does. Dumb. I'm going to put dumb. Don't. Don't use. Okay. First click, second click, doesn't stop. Third click, don't stop. Fourth, I mean, you might want to use it,
I
but I
see.
don't. You might. And then you got to right click and tell it to stop because you couldn't
Okay.
go back this way, right? If you had the segment tool, you could have done it all. Click, 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 click. Here, it just makes you keep going.
Mm.
You see? Where the segment tool, let me do segment again. With the segment tool, I can click once, click again, I'm finished. It doesn't
Mm.
require me to stop.
Oh,
It
I
doesn't
see.
require me to right click in new section. You see?
Mm.
Let me show you again. Segment tool. Okay, so I'm saying do the segment. All right, there's the first click. Second click, you see it don't stop? I got to
Hmm.
keep going and tell it to stop.
I see.
Stop. Now, segment tool, if I just want to measure this portion of the line, first click, second click, it's still on, right? But it's not making me keep going.
Oh, I see.
You see the
It's just
difference?
waiting for you. I see. And when you want to
Yeah.
start up, you click.
You click anywhere. So what if I just wanted to click like here and here? Well, I can do it with a segment tool, but I wouldn't have been able to do it with that one because once I clicked here, it would still be here and then I'd have to go back over it. You don't want to do that to get up here. You see?
Okay.
So just, I don't know, try it both ways and see which one. Now, if you're
Okay.
just doing like the next page, if I'm doing new wall, okay, if I'm doing new A wall, I mean, I still use it the same way. I mean, I would still, I mean, if I'm doing B wall, then click, it's hanging on, click, it's still hanging on, click, and then I'd have to tell it to stop because my B wall ends here. That's B wall, it ends here, right? I'd have to tell it to stop. But with my segment, I could just go click, click, it stopped, click, click,
Click,
it stopped.
click, click, click. Okay.
Mhm. And then if there was a B wall over here or something, I could go way over here, click, click. Without with it connected, how am I gonna get over there? I'm not measuring all of that. You see?
Hmm.
You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play with it.
Okay,
I'll play with it.
yeah, play with it, play with it. But you got the best, all right? Until I give you my tool for free. So yeah, this is our first one. So let me get rid of that. So if you want to get rid of something, just highlight on it and hit delete on your keyboard. Okay, another thing with the interior demo, it doesn't tell you the size of the wall, right? So if this is a 6 inch and that's a 4 inch, we don't know. Okay, so it's little stuff like that. Now, this is gonna be it. I said we were gonna stop. This is gonna be it because I know you're doing work today as we speak. So you do an estimate without a site visit. You give them a number, you win. Then what you do is take your winning number, take your measurements that you created, and go to the
Mm-hmm.
site, right? And walk it through as if you're looking at the set of plans. Is that the 6 inch wall, 4 inch wall I estimate, or is it thicker? And you make your differences and let them know. That's how you do it because they never give you it. I mean, I shouldn't say never. It's rare you get a site visit, but
Mm-hmm.
there are ways
Mm-hmm.
around that to give them a decent number, you know,
Okay.
without excluding everything. You know, you want to give them a number that covers everything they're asking for. Okay. But then there's ways to do it when what they're asking for isn't clear. And so that's what
Right.
I'm showing you on that one. How do we do it when it's not clear, but they're asking for it? And we'll put it very detailed to them so they'll know. You know, you're asking me like here, demo all electrical. Okay, well, how?
Yeah.
Where? Okay,
Yeah.
well then I
Exactly.
gotta go to my spidey senses and say, okay, I know electrician says there's an outlet every 10 feet or something. Okay, well, I'm gonna assume every 10 feet there's an outlet and the light switch and a you know, these are commercial offices, so those two by four trophy lights or whatever. It's probably I'd estimate there's two every two. There's a standard for that, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would give them on my estimate based on da 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 to be adjusted after site visit. I take
Oh,
the
so you put
I
that
give
language
you
in there?
oh yeah.
You okay.
Well, what do you mean in our in the estimator?
The language and estimates
Oh
based
yeah,
on
yeah, oh yeah.
not having
Because
a
what
site view.
based on you know electrical standards that there is a outlet every 10
Oh,
feet.
based on
Figure out
guys.
you know figure out how many linear feet each office or how many linear feet of wall in general, right? That you have to demo and use that standard for all of
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah. And assume it's light metal. They ain't telling you because that makes a difference. And I give myself the benefit of the doubt. I assume they're all 6 inch. It's not a house. I'm assuming it's all 6 inch
Oh,
metal
I.
framing. Okay. Because
Oh,
you
I.
have to, you see what I mean? Because they're not telling you what it is. Unlike, you know, when they want you to build the new stuff, right? They tell you exactly the configuration of the wall. When they want you to demo it, not so important. Yeah, it is
Okay.
because that depends on man hours.
Okay. Well, I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm excited to go through these takeoffs with you because
For
I
sure.
want to see how you are breaking it down and what tools you're using right now. I don't know what's good or bad with the plan Swift. I'm just
Yeah, I'll
clicking around.
go over it, and that's good. We're using the same thing. Now, for this
Yeah.
first project, I'm gonna have it uploaded probably by Tuesday. And so you'll get
Okay.
a week for because this one this take 20 minutes to finish. And I'm gonna use E-Deck to determine the man
Is
hours. See me do
called
that.
a fast time or a long time? I don't even know if 20 minutes is called good or bad.
That's that's good.
Oh, that's
To finish the
20
whole
minutes.
estimate in 20 minutes, that's real good.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
for this, that's all we're doing. Oh, and this is the one where the carpet tiles got to come up and be salvaged, though. So now what do? We have to determine the area, and that's easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's easy. You just use your area tool, right? And I didn't even name it. Click. See, and this is what that other tool does. I mean, if I was determining an area, then yeah, because, and what you want to do, if you want to know the perimeter, make sure you click at every corner. Because if you click, because sometimes I don't click up here, I don't know if it makes a difference. It probably don't. But make sure you, if you want the perimeter, say if you're doing, if you got to demo the flooring and the base, those are two different costs. Okay. So if you're doing that, the flooring is the area. And then if you use Plan Swift and click, 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 and all the way back up, click, it'll give you, see, it'll tell you what, uh, you see the linear total, 58.79?
Mm-hmm.
That's that. If I clicked right, that's the perimeter of the room. So you know that if you're demoing floor base, you're demoing also about 60 linear feet of floor base. You see what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
And it said
But
I
that's
did
because you
seven
did the click.
clicks. You
Okay.
got to click in every corner. You got to click as if you're measuring with a tape measure. It
Would the
said I did
software would the software had allowed you to go around had you not clicked?
well. If I want the
It-
area, I got to click out the area.
But if you did not click, it still would have given you the distinguishment of where the pattern that you wanted to go? How would you have been able to do it without clicking? You have to click,
And
don't
you
you?
gotta click. That's the whole
Oh,
point.
you gotta click. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you
Okay.
gotta click, and you'll get
You got
good
it.
at it. Like,
Okay.
I mean, you'll get good at it. If you gotta click and then click around something right here, you'll get real good at it. It's fun. I like it. But then again, I bought Plan Swift when it was $800, and they let me make payments, okay, of
Wow.
$200 a month. Yes, that's how long
Okay.
I've used Plan Swift. That's a long time, and
Wow.
now they charge us 60. I talked to some, then they tried to threaten me, "Oh, you might want the upgrade." But I'm like, "What's that? You're gonna lock out my version I paid for just because you're greedy now?" I straight told them,
Hmm. Hmm.
Lock out my versions I paid for the license because I got a couple of them. Because yeah, they want everybody to pay by the year now instead of owning the whole license. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, nope, nope. And they messed up and gave me a whole new version for the one I bought 10 years ago because something happened to it. I was like, you lock out my versions I paid for, and I'll see your butts in court. No, I own these. Don't start playing games just because you want to be
So
greedy.
you're on, I see you're on 10 and I'm on 11. I don't think the difference is that big of a
And,
deal.
oh, please. And I had one, okay? And I'm telling you, I had number one, and it's just a glorified ruler. Now, look, I'm not giving it the credit it deserves because I've never used it this way. But here on the right side, you can
Hmm.
implement uh, your cost, right? But for a demo person, see, they're like slab on grade. Well, you can implement on this side what the costs are, and then when you do your measurements, it's going to produce an estimate for you.
Okay.
Okay. That's what it's used for, really. That was its initial purpose. But I don't know five people that use it like that. That's why I came up with the Excel spreadsheet and just, hey, just use PlanSwift to make measurements, use my
Oh,
Excel spreadsheet to make
so
the
you plan Swift just to get the perimeter room measurements and the walls
whatever.
measurements.
Yeah,
To get
whatever my client needs. If I'm doing electrical, I only use this for the take. Basically, I only use PlanSwift to do the takeoff, period, and
okay.
always have. But that's not what it's all meant for. And the only reason why I use it like that is because I have so many different trades that I estimate for. It doesn't make sense for me to do that. Now, you,
Okay.
a demo person, you're demoing the same. It's one thing. So it might make sense to use it that way or learn how to use it that way. But it's, you know, with if you use the tool that I'm giving you access to, you don't even need that. You just need your takeoff.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay. I love it.
All
Thank you.
right. So I am going to stop the recording and I'm going to send you this so you can hear. If you don't go to church tomorrow, you can hear me preaching, which is always nice. No kidding. Any
Much
questions?
love. Nope. You're good.
All right.
I think I'm gonna send you the takeoff or the plan that I need to submit,
Yeah,
and
there we go. And then we can work
and
on that one.
we can talk
And
about
then
that.
I'll have
Yeah.
this small one with a video explaining. And then yeah, if I've impressed you enough, talk to your folks, let me know. Because I just fill in my days as needed. So I mean, if you
Okay.
wanted them to come see, I norm on Saturday I don't work any later than noon Pacific time. So, normally your class would have been over maybe about 10 minutes ago. And then if you want somebody to start on Saturday, but then again, just give me their day and time and I'll see if I'm available. I prefer doing the week, but I don't mind Saturday, you know?
Yeah. Me and you'll conclude our piece, and
Oh,
then
okay.
by the time other people will be there in asbestos courses and
Oh, good.
accounting. So yeah. So
Very
we're
good.
everyone's schedule is pretty full as far as course wise.
Oh, good.
But I would say within the once me and you conclude, it'll open up some of the availabilities for another person.
Perfect. All right. Well, have a good weekend and send me those
True,
set of
bless you.
plans, and I will talk to you very soon. And use
Okay.
the software. Let me know what goes on.
And the test I'm taking is introduction to
Yep.
demolition.
Yep. Just the
Okay.
first module number one. And again, we
Okay.
didn't finish everything because there is a part on OSHA and some other stuff. So you don't really have to do that this week if you don't want to. We'll finish up on that next week and go on to 2, so you don't have to, but you can if you want to.
Okay.
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 All right. Talk to you
Bye
soon.
bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.